Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out here for you. So we're going to be talking about President Volodymyr Zelenskyy of Ukraine in this video, and a very interesting story. Okay, so Ukraine is claiming that they foiled a Russian plot to assassinate President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and also several Ukrainian officials. These are high-ranking officials in Ukraine. So this is an interesting story to go over because I've been doing lots of videos lately where the West is blaming Russia for many different things. Okay, I just did a video recently, I think it was for Germany or France, one of those countries, that were coming out and stating that Russia was hacking their government. Russian hackers were infiltrating government websites, government infrastructure, different things, part of their country. And now we've got this story coming out that Ukraine has foiled a Russian plot to assassinate President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. So apparently there was two government protection unit colonels that have been arrested, and they were apparently part of a network of agents belonging to the Russian State Security Service known as the FSB. So apparently as well they were working with the FSB, the Russian State Security Service, and trying to find people that were willing to become executors to try to eliminate Zelenskyy and some of these top high-ranking officials. And what they were planning to do was locate where they were at and then hire these executors to perform the job, and they were going to attack them and try to assassinate them with like anti-tank grenades, rockets, things of that nature, so explosives. And apparently as well, according to the article we're going to be going over, they found an anti-tank grenade, according to the information, on one of the persons that were involved here. Maybe they're where they were staying or something like that. So I don't know. Very interesting story. Let's go ahead and get right into this on the BBC. Russian plot to kill Zelenskyy foiled, Kyiv says. This just coming out today. Here's apparently a picture coming out too from Telegram. It says here, Ukraine said it arrested 2 Ukrainian officials who worked with the Russian security services. I don't know if this is a real picture of the person being arrested. I would assume that it is. Or if it's just a picture used of reference. But I would assume that is probably one of the people who have been taken captive here and arrested. So the Ukrainian Security Service, SBU, says it has foiled a Russian plot to assassinate President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and other high-ranking Ukrainian officials. 2 Ukrainian government protection unit colonels have been arrested. The SBU said they were part of a network of agents belonging to Russian State Security Service, FSB. They had reportedly been searching for willing executors among Mr. Zelenskyy's bodyguards to kidnap and kill him. Ever since Russian paratroopers attempted to land in Kyiv and assassinate President Zelenskyy in the early hours and days of the full-scale invasion, plots to assassinate him have been commonplace. You know, whenever I read this earlier, I was kind of confused. I was like, wait, I don't remember hearing about that. But apparently there were these threats or something that Russian paratroopers were going to land in Kyiv and try to assassinate Zelenskyy. I do not remember that at all, but apparently, according to this, that may have been a thing. Ukrainian leader said at the start of the invasion he was Russia's #1 target, but this alleged plot stands out from the rest. It involves serving colonels whose job it was to keep officials and institutions safe, allegedly hired as moles. So yeah, that's what you would think. You know, colonels would be there to oversee operations and keep everybody safe and pay attention to those types of things. But then if you got corruption within your military, your government, then yeah, you're going to have these kind of issues. Other targets included military intelligence head Kirilo Budnov and SBU chief Vasil Malyuk. The agency added. The group had reportedly planned to kill Mr. Budnov before Orthodox Easter, which this year fell on May 5th. According to the SBU, the plotters had aimed to use a mole to get information about his location, which they then would have attacked with rockets, drones, and anti-tank grenades. One of the officers who was later arrested had already bought drones and anti-tank or anti-personnel mines, the SBU said. So apparently they found out he had drones and anti-personnel mines with him, and this is what they would have used. So rockets, drones, and anti-tank grenades. Here's a picture here too. SBU said it found various ordnance, including an anti-tank grenade on the plotters. It says on the plotters, so maybe they had it with them. that looks like a tire right there. Maybe they were hiding it inside of a tire or something, wrapped in a plastic bag. I don't know. Maybe this was the vehicle that they were in, that they were driving when they were pulled over or something. But apparently, yeah, that looks like an anti-tank grenade. I don't know if that's like it kind of looks like an RPG grenade, rocket propelled grenade. SBU head Vasil Malyuk said the attack was supposed to be a gift to Putin before the inauguration, referring to Russia's Vladimir Putin, who was sworn in for a 5th term as president at the Kremlin on Tuesday. So yeah, just today, in the last 24 hours, I was seeing video footage too of Putin walking through the Kremlin and being inaugurated again for a 5th term. Okay, so this was supposedly supposed to be a gift, according to this information. They were going to give a gift to him for being reelected, was to assassinate Zelenskyy and some of the high-ranking officials. The operation turned into a failure of the Russian special services, Mr. Malyuk said. But we must not forget, the enemy is strong and experienced. He cannot be underestimated, he added. 2 Ukrainian officials are being held on suspicion of treason and of preparing a terrorist act. The SBU said 3 FSB employees oversaw the organization and the attack. One of them, named Dmitro Perlin, has been recruiting moles since before Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Another FSB employee, Alexei Kornev, reportedly held conspiratorial meetings in neighboring European states before the invasion, with one of the Ukrainian colonels arrested. In a release interrogation with one of the suspects, they can be heard describing how they were paid thousands of dollars directly by parcels or indirectly through their relatives. It is not clear whether he was speaking under duress or not. Investigators insist they monitored the men throughout. We are unlikely to know how close they came to carrying out their alleged plan. The plot may read like a thriller, but it is also a reminder of the risk of Ukraine's wartime leader faces. Last month, a Polish man was arrested and charged with planning to cooperate with Russian intelligence services to aid a possible assassination of Zelenskyy. At the weekend, Ukraine's president appeared on the Russian Interior Ministry's wanted list on unspecified charges. Yeah, isn't that interesting too? I think it was just yesterday I put out a video that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy was wanted by Russia. Isn't that interesting? That happens, and then just a day later, we get this story coming out. Very interesting, the timing of these. And we do know, too, that Ukraine is planning to start attacking Russia inside their territory, potentially, because we had a report that UK's Foreign Secretary David Cameron was telling Volodymyr Zelenskyy that he could use the British Storm Shadow missiles to strike inside Russia. So, I don't know, maybe this was an actual attempt to try to prevent all that from happening, because they know that things are about to get really crazy here pretty soon. And also, again, there was the inauguration happening as of today, or just in the last 24 hours, for President Vladimir Putin. So finally, it says here the foreign ministry in Kiev condemned the move as showing the desperation of the Russian state machine and propaganda, and pointed out that the International Criminal Court has issued a warrant for Vladimir Putin's arrest. So yeah, that's a big one here too. They've been talking about this. I feel like Zelenskyy says a lot. He'll say that Putin is desperate, that Putin, is in a state of desperation because this war's been dragging on for 2 years. A lot of the land that they take, if they do take any land, they take heavy losses, apparently. That's what, the Ukraine's SBU would say a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. Was this a real thing? Was it not? According to this information, this is something that happened. But again, I think it's just kind of strange, the timing on all these stories that are coming out, stating that Russia's being blamed for something, just like I said, where they were blamed on hacking the government. I believe it was Germany, but it could have been another country if I'm wrong, that they were hacking their government, trying to steal their information. And, now we're starting to see this. Now they're being blamed on trying to assassinate Volodymyr Zelenskyy. So this is obviously a big deal, okay? If a president that is clearly in wartime right now is attempting to be assassinated, then things are obviously very serious here, a lot more serious than what we're being told. I know that both leaders don't like each other. I'm sure they would both want to assassinate each other if they could, or attempt to. But, this was definitely, according to this information, a failed attempt. And, so I just wanted to bring this information to you. Let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell, that way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.